What is up, everybody? Where's my fucking music, dude? You do this every time. Why do you do this to me? You are such a goober. Oh my God, you're such a goober. Welcome to World Wrestling Radio. I am your host, Niko Exxtra, coming at you live with Vincent LaSpada, who's supposed to hit me with some awesome music right now. But
it's
again,
on.
Hit me with the I can't hear it, dickhead.
I can't hear it.
No one hears your stupid music.
No music
No
at
one
all.
hears your stupid music.
You can't hear that.
I hear it now.
It's been on the whole time.
Anyways, welcome everybody. We are live. We have people here. I'll take care of your stupid music for a minute. You're so fired for doing the music, bro.
Dude, I'm fired for doing the music. It was on the whole time.
What's up, Randy? What's up, Platinum? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. I literally just rushed home from NXT to come here and be with you for this wonderful episode of World Wrestling Radio. To my left is Mr. Vincent LaSpada, the one, the only, the man who is also dancing his way to TikTok, as he says on his radio show every week about me. He is also dancing his ass to 10,000 followers, and congratulations for almost hitting that huge milestone. And below us is the one and the only Maddog.
Hey,
you haven't shown us your T-shirt. It's been 3 minutes. What's going on?
Yes, actually, I was about to. What do you think, Niko? Drew McIntyre today, who beat Bobby Lashley, and then King Corbin kicked his ass, but they'll still win. Drew will still win at Mania, so we're all good.
What's up? So please ask your questions in the comments section across all platforms. We are live on Twitch. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Twitter for the time being. I don't know how long that's going to last, but here we are. We are ready to talk a little professional wrestling. So what did you guys think? I'm going to let you take the wheel for a second because obviously I was at NXT and I missed this great AEW show that you guys always talk about. So please take it away. Tell me about AEW. Vincent, lead the way.
Well, I'm gonna just tell you. I think the last match says it all. It was a arcade. It was an arcade tag team match, and the ring was surrounded by arcades, air hockey tables. And to me, I think it was. You know what it is. I figured it out now. I figured out why I think AEW is such a brighter product at the moment right now. I think because number one, close, like NXT is so close. Everything is like wrapped around with, you know what I mean? Like AEW is so open. There's wrestlers around the ring seeming as fans. There's actually fans with no barricades. And it's brighter. It's a lot brighter. Now, NXT show tonight wasn't bad. There was 2 or 3 good matches that I think were worthy enough to talk about. And I say the same thing on AEW. But
do you go back and forth like the old days between the two channels?
No, I watch them. I have them both on. I have one on one TV, one on the other.
Oh wow, you're real old school.
Yeah, I'm
watching them simultaneously. So you can literally watch them simultaneously and see which is, comparatively speaking, what show is better at the time.
Yeah, so like I'm watching AEW. I'm AEW on my iPad, and I'm watching NXT on my big screen. And I tell you what, I think the one thing that really disappointed me tonight was the return of Christian Cage. For 7 years he hasn't wrestled, but it really did show. I mean, if you didn't know he didn't wrestle for 7 years, it surely showed. I mean, there were 2 hits in that match that I thought he was just knocked silly, like he just didn't know where he was. So Frankie Kazarian, he's one of those high flyers. These guys have known each other since TNA, so I mean, it's just this is like a revamped rivalry, but on
a scale of 1 to 10, how did Christian look?
I would say a 5.
I would actually say a 4. He looked very rusty, and he looked just like Vinny said, man. He looked completely out of it. Like he was there physically, his body was there, but he wasn't there mentally.
But you can tell
in that way.
You can also tell that he wasn't trying as hard as to do his main movesets. Like you can tell that he was wrestling a new ring set.
I mean, he's 50 years old, guys. What do you really expect from this man at this point? Do you
Look at
expect him to
Sting.
be
He's
putting
like
on a banger?
70.
Yeah, and Sting isn't having great bangers. They have to have pre-recorded shot matches for him to be able to like make a good match. Let's be
That's
honest.
true.
Sting,
That's true.
none of these guys are putting on bangers anymore. They're not doing the same thing that you're seeing, Santos Escobar and freaking what's his face do this week, Jordan Devlin. Like none of that's happening with these old farts. No offense to them. I love you guys.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you this. I was so wrapped up in both products, and at one point when I was watching the match, I could have swore I saw Tyler Breeze on AEW. Like I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Stop the charts. When did Tyler Breeze go to AEW? And then I'm like, oh wait, never mind. That's NXT. So I mean, I did get confused a little bit because I am watching both products. I'm breaking it down. I'm trying to watch each match at the same time. How hard that is. Maddog, what do you think about AEW?
Right. I actually do the same thing Vinny does. But I do it off of my laptop. I have a little split screen here where I can just put two little barriers up and I can just watch both the AEW and NXT to see what's going on side by side. Sometimes I'll turn the volume on and the other one same both. So but anyway, AEW is just clearly a better product right now. And I actually heard they're doing a live taping next week before WrestleMania, which is very surprising. They're actually doing a live show right before WrestleMania. So that just shows that they're really in competition with WWE currently. And I really liked tonight's show because yes, Christian returned, but like I said, Christian really wasn't there. But Jon Moxley, he cut an awesome promo as usual. And well, Sting is Sting, so he's always going to be big reaction. But the main event, though, with all those arcade machines, air hockey tables, and everything, was super solid. And just Chris Jericho and MJF, man, those two, they're going to go very far. And I hope they go far with that feud, yeah.
What do you think about Zoe Storm? You were there live. What do you think about that match that Zoe Storm had with Raquel Gonzalez?
I thought Zoe Stark did really well. I don't know who Zoe.
What did I say? Storm? I meant Stark.
Yeah.
I thought Zoe Stark had a really good match. And let's be honest, at the end of the day, the only thing she's lacking is like that Trish Stratus, like that beautiful whatever she's going. But in the ring, she can go totally.
She's still pretty.
She's pretty, but she just doesn't have that whatever that WWE. And I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like.
Are you frozen or am I frozen?
I think he's frozen. Right. So
I tell you what, another match that I think was great tonight was Cameron Grimes taking on Roderick Strong.
Cameron Grimes is looking really good right now, man. Do you notice that?
He's looking really good, but I got to tell you, I don't like the whole money Grimes thing. I think that's kind of stupid. But I do tell you this. There is one thing that I think Roderick Strong has been lacking in the last year, and that's the fact that he looks better as a singles competitor, not in the Undisputed Era, than he was in Undisputed. So to me, to me, I think that makes a difference because it's back to the old Roderick Strong where, he's taking his competition serious and not worrying about who's going to come help him and save him in the match.
Right, yeah, I agree with that. I think Roderick Strong looks good, but can we talk about Cameron Grimes though, man? He comes out, awesome entrance this week, awesome. He cuts like little bit of a promo, and then there's the shiny wheel. That's what Niko was doing.
The wheel is up and running, fellas.
That's what Niko was doing. He
Leave
was
a comment.
That thing. Okay,
leave
right.
a comment. Yes, we see your comments. Happy Dolphin and Platinum Saki and all you people. Leave your comments. I'll add you to the wheel. Let's get going. Let's do this.
We're giving away a wrestling crate tonight, right? Or a t-shirt?
We are giving away this right here, Pro Wrestling Crate. Let me pull this over here.
Sounds like Legos in there.
Let's see what's in there. Leave a comment. We will add your name to the wheel. You inside the Pro Wrestling Crate, you will get a Repo Man magnet. You will get a professional wrestling comic book. You will get a Micro Brawler Kevin Nash. You will get a Rowdy Roddy Piper keychain. And you will get an autograph from Dean Malenko. I would give you the t-shirt, but honestly, I'm wearing it. And my wife kept the MJF I'm better than you t-shirt. So you don't get a t-shirt this time. Maybe next week you'll get one. But for now, you'll get everything else except for that. So let me go ahead and start adding some names, and I'm going to mute myself while you guys talk. Continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. Like I was saying, man, just Cameron Grimes, Vinny, he's just awesome. And I always liked Cameron Grimes. You know, when he first started in the company, I always thought it was cool, but always needed polishing. Now I think he has a polished gimmick. And now I think he needs that push to the title. Because when he gets that title, he can go up to the main roster. I want to see, and this has been a dream match of mine for a very long time, Cameron Grimes versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. It's going to happen. I just don't know when.
You're right. And here's the one thing I got to tell you. Yes, Cameron Grimes does look good. I did like the fact that he took the Undisputed Era and turned it into his own circus of craziness, as you should say.
Yep.
But I got to tell you one thing that stuck out the most in this match, and that's the fact that at the end of the match, Cameron Grimes had something he pulled out of his tights. Later on, it reveals that Strong picked up. So is this a trend of him playing mind games with Roderick Strong about being out of the Undisputed Era, or is it going to be mind games within the company where each wrestler is going to remind Roderick Strong about not being in Undisputed Era? I mean, is this like a trend, or is this a one-off?
I think it's actually kind of a trend, if you will. And the reason why I say it's a trend is because look at Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, you know, two guys from this era who are about to, go at it next week at TakeOver. So clearly it's definitely a trend because it seems like they're not just splitting that up, but they're splitting up every single piece, but they're not really sewing the stitches together, if you mean, which is a problem, I think.
Let's get into the next match. Tyler Breeze taking on Santos Escobar in his open challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship. I thought this was a good match. I thought for what it was worth, Tyler Breeze stuck in there and he tried his hardest to overcome the obstacles in this match. And there are other, when you have Santos Escobar and his crew around the ring, there's always going to be antics. And I do think that Breeze did try his hardest, and would I have liked to see Breeze take the belt away from Santos Escobar before Stand and Deliver? Sure, but do I know it's not going to happen? No, because you know what? He's going to have one hell of a match with Jordan Devlin at Stand and Deliver in the ladder match for the 2 Cruiserweight
Right, now I believe that's a unification match. Am I right? Can you guys correct me on that, right?
It is.
Okay,
yes.
That's what I thought.
It is a unification match, and I think it's actually, unfortunately, going to be a little bit lost in the big mix of things because there's so many great matches happening at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. I mean, right. I was just looking at the card today, and it's like, holy crap. There's a lot of good matches on there, and day 2 is going to be really special because you're going to get that unsanctioned match with Adam Cole, and you're going to get Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor, which is both going to be just amazing. And I'm going to go ahead and say it out now. I think every single title is going to change hands at TakeOver. I
hope so.
I don't know about that. Every title, I don't know about, but I know a lot of titles are probably going to change at TakeOver, yeah.
If you want to be added to the wheel, please leave a comment, and we'll add you to the wheel asking to be added to it. It's that simple, guys, and we're going to spin it at the end of our show. We're only just getting started. We're only 15 minutes in, so leave a comment, and we will add you along the way. Can I share the screen?
I got to talk to you about this Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall match. This match, to me, was a little insane because not the physical match itself, but the ending of the match when QT Marshall inadvertently hits Art Anderson, the referee, and I feel like the Nightmare Factory turned on Cody and Dustin, and it just turned into an all-out brawl. What do you think?
Right. So I know Niko didn't watch it, so I have to give him my take on this. And my take is this, man. Yeah, and I think the match was solid. Cody Rhodes still has it. And did he always have it in WWE? Yes and no. I always felt like they always underutilized Cody. And I'm so glad he went to AEW and started AEW with Tony Khan, because now AEW, he's doing so much more. And I think he has so much more freedom to use his the moveset that WWE never really let him take. As for the whole turn, yeah, I think they're trying to make what's his name now? Turn heel. And I think that that's gonna be the biggest feud going forward. But Shaq is still gonna be there. And I think it's all gonna lead up to Shaq versus Cody one-on-one at the next pay-per-view when they have it. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but when the next pay-per-view hits, Shaq and Cody are definitely gonna be the main event.
I gotta also tell you, man, I think
you think Shaq and Cody will be the main event of a pay-per-view?
Why not?
I mean, they're both I don't see that ever main eventing anything, honestly. Like maybe the first match of the night, but it definitely wouldn't be the last. There's too many talented people in AEW to let that kind of crap happen.
Well, I tell you what, another great moment of tonight, which I think what made a huge statement, was when the Pinnacle was doing a promo in the back. MJF had his tailor there with all his tailored suits that he can do, and then he was going to redo the bathroom with a decorated had the designer come in, and long behold, behind the door was the Inner Circle. And I tell you what, I don't know which one was better. The fight that the Inner Circle had in the beginning of AEW, when it was in the actual VIP box where Jericho put, I think, MJF through the window, or this one, because this one, I mean, they made a statement where MJF at the end of the whole thing was face first into a Pepsi cooler with the glass broken out. And they let no expense for this one, because I mean they royally got their ass kicked and handed to them on this fight.
What's funny? I'm sitting at NXT and I'm looking online. It's like it says, "Holy shit!" Pinnacle just got their ass kicked by Inner Circle, and like everyone was talking about how that beatdown was pretty decent. So I can't wait to go see it.
It was really,
it was good, man. And honestly, MJF cut a better promo late. I think it was later in the night. He cut a promo after that, kind of doing a little shoot to Jericho, and it's gonna happen. One-on-one, MJF, Jericho. I don't know when, but this match needs to happen. I would love to see Chris Jericho and this young guy, MJF, just go one-on-one in the ring. I hope it's just a singles bout. I don't want to see all this speculation, like all this like arcades and all this crazy stuff. Just one of them in the ring, and it's going to be a banger. It could be a really solid match.
I
like this one better than the last one, honestly. So.
Well, the wheel is slightly spinning now. If you want to get in, please leave a comment. Get on the board.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. We're spinning for a pro wrestling crate tonight. Niko's already went through the box. And
you get some autographs, you get some keychains, you get free stuff. I mean, come on, we're the coolest.
I tell you what, I'm really liking the Xia Li character. Tonight, she went in the handicap match. It was Xia Li taking on Casey Cutway. And
you're so bad at names, dude.
I'm sorry.
Casey Catzano.
There you go. Catzano. There you go. And Hayden Carter. I got to tell you, I feel bad for these two, because these two, to me, they work their ass off. They work so hard, and I feel like they never get to the pinnacle of where they should be at. But
what is the pinnacle that you feel they should be at? Just curious.
Well, let's put it this way. I really do think they should have at least had a chance before Raquel. And oh god, what's her
Dakota Kai.
Yeah, there you go.
Dakota Kai, yes.
I really do think they should have had a chance before they became champions, because to me, I don't think for me, it's not working with Ember Moon and Shotzi. Like it just, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a great tag team, but I just feel like out of nowhere these two came, and it's like there are so many other women's tag teams that have been working as harder, if not harder, than those two that should have had the belts, prior. So, I mean, just my opinion. I mean, people have their own opinion, and I know a lot of people are going to probably say, "Well, you're full of shit," which I could be.
I just don't think they live up to the potential, man. I've been watching them for a long time, and I think Casey Cazzano is, and she's the definition of "you're too small." Like, that girl is tiny.
That was Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Gargano is never going to make it anywhere beyond NXT. Like, he's just not. These guys are not big enough. I hate to say it. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, baby. These guys are too effing small.
What? Look at Ricochet, man. Ricochet's
look at Ricochet.
Tiny, and
look at Ricochet.
He's on Raw.
First off, Ricochet's 6 foot. He's not tiny. Second
he
off,
looks a lot smaller on television.
Second off, Ricochet is not going to ever be anything great in professional wrestling in the WWE. I'm sorry. This is it for him. He's going to get some matches. He's going to get his ass kicked in some main events, and that's it. He's never going to be a WWE World Champion.
I think out of all of them, I think Adam Cole will. I think Adam Cole has the potential.
Right.
Really?
Compared to Daniel.
I'll jump in on that. Yeah.
We're having the worst. All three of us have shitty internet tonight.
Yeah, I guess we do, apparently.
Daniel Bryan, they said Daniel Bryan would never make out to be anybody, and they absolutely were wrong because
didn't he win like a belt at like WrestleMania 30?
No, but what I was
World
saying,
Championship. I mean,
but I was saying Maddog, was they said that he was never going to make it that far.
But he's a victim. Well, I wouldn't say victim, but he got to live the opportunity of the hype train, because he got on the hype train and they took it all the way to the end. That yes movement was exactly what he needed. Yes. Without the yes movement, he doesn't get to WrestleMania. And it's just like Kofi Mania. It's the same exact thing over again. He got the hype behind him and they pushed him to the moon. Daniel Bryan, if he wins this damn match at WrestleMania, I swear to God, he's only put in there to lose. He is put in to lose.
I would love for him to win again.
I feel like he forced his way in, and I feel like it's a force of his kind of retirement match. If we're talking about this, I'm going to say it as it is. This is Daniel Bryan's retirement match. Main event in WrestleMania with Roman and the Hall of Famer Edge. Yeah, this is his final match. This is why they put him in there, and this is why he forced his way into this match. This is it. If he wins the belt, maybe he'll have more matches. But if he loses the belt, he's retiring. I call it now.
So you think this is his last match?
Yes, in front of fans, in front of everybody. This is it.
Okay, all right.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think he has another year or two in him. I mean, I don't think he's going to be the man. I don't think he's winning. Do you guys think he's winning?
No.
Okay, hold on. Here's what I have to say about this match. And Niko, I don't know if it was you, Niko, or I don't know if it was Maddog. I forget who told me this, but no, Niko, it was you who told me this. There is a reason why Vince put Daniel in this match, and you told me because Edge is too old to be headlining WrestleMania. With that being said, here's what I have to say about that. If Edge is too old, then he should have never won the Rumble. And you never should have put the trust in for him to be a main eventer at WrestleMania. Like that to me, that's a slap in the face to Edge. Like, oh, you won the Rumble, now you're gonna be in the main event. But I don't think you can headline it. So let's bring Daniel Bryan in. Like, what is that shit? Like that to me is crap.
I still feel like he forced his way in. I think it's actually personally, I believe, this is my opinion. I don't know if this is the truth. Remember, DB writes for Friday Night SmackDown. He's a writer, just like Edge is a writer for Monday Night Raw. He has a lot of creative behind the scenes nowadays, just like Edge has a lot of creative on Raw. So, in all honesty, I think he forced his way into this match, and that's why I keep saying it's the retirement match, because Daniel Bryan just wants to do more behind the scenes. He doesn't want to do in front of the camera anymore.
Look at that wheel. It's getting ready. It's
I'm gonna
collecting.
be honest with you guys. If the numbers don't pick up, the wheel's gonna end because I don't really care. You know what I mean? I got better things to do, just like you guys got better things to do. So maybe it's my fault for not having the wheel available in the beginning. But like honestly, I don't need this shit in my life. So
Can we add our names to the wheel?
we're adding our own names to the wheel. How you like that? If we win,
Yay!
you're screwed. No, I'm not gonna add our names to the wheel. But honestly, leave a comment if you'd like to be added to the wheel for a chance to win the Pro Wrestling Crate. Let me ask you guys a couple of questions. I don't want to get off topic, but I want to ask you one question first off, and that is this. Is AEW better than NXT when it comes to professional wrestling, when it comes to the show itself, when it comes to the quality of wrestling, when it comes to the characters inside the show? Is AEW superior to NXT?
That's a hard question.
Here we go again.
I'm all right. I'm gonna tread lightly with what I say. I think they're both pretty solid shows. I think they both have solid talent, but here's where I veer off into AEW territory. Yes, and AEW is a rebrand of wrestlers from WWE. Yes, I will admit that. Maybe even some from WCW. Yes, but here's what you have to understand. They're taking talent that were good in WWE, and they're bringing them over to a brand where they give more credibility and more time to actually create their characters. If they cared so much about Christian, they would have put him in a better predicament, and they would have given him a better contract. They didn't care about Christian, so what they do, they let Christian go. Same thing with the Big Show. I think the Big Show, yes, I think his career in the ring is over. But could they have used the Big Show otherwise in the backstage area as a producer, as a mentor to these guys? Absolutely. So I do think that there are some problems in WWE with talent that they choose to let go. But show-wise, I think with NXT actually leaving and running to Tuesday nights, to me, that just shows you that AEW has won the war. I mean, you can say otherwise, but I mean, I don't want to hear nothing about Peacock and USA, because you know what? If WWE wanted to be on Wednesday nights as bad to face AEW, they would have made it happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really valid point. What do you think, Maddog?
Right. So here's what I think of this. And like Vinny said, I have to be careful on what I say here because I do like both. NXT in the beginning was the only thing, and I absolutely loved NXT. I was actually just telling Vinny earlier about how Paige was in NXT and how I had a huge crush on her, and still do. I still think Paige is hot to this day. I'll be honest with you all. But AEW, though, what I like about AEW is it gives out a lot of free range, if you will. And I think that's the best word to describe it. To use whatever moves they kind of want and to kind of really just, as Niko says, to test the waters. Ooh, do a little wave there. To test the waters of what move works and what move doesn't. And I feel like AEW's divisions are a lot better than WWE's because WWE Creative doesn't know where to put half of their roster. And I think that's why they screwed over Sting, they screwed over Big Show, and they most certainly screwed over Christian Cage. So, because they could have brought him back with Edge and they could have went for the tag team belts, like I said a couple weeks ago on the show, and that clearly did not happen. So they screwed all over these wrestlers, and they go up and they go into AEW, and that's why AEW is becoming the better show. And Jon Moxley is the perfect example. My boy Dean Ambrose turned into Jon Moxley because they screwed him over. He didn't like his last, feud with Roman because of the whole leukemia thing. So what does he do? He ups and leaves, and now he's Jon freaking Moxley, and it's great.
Speaking of...
Sorry, Brian. I just want to say sorry to my good friend from high school, Brian Teeterman, who is watching the show. Brian, you and I know what we did at Harris Park that one day, and it was criminal, my man. And that's all I'm going to say.
Can I ask you, Nico? I know you sent me a text today of who's going to be on the bump. Was our special friend on the bump today, or is that next week?
I'm not quite sure when Izzy is going to be on the bump, but I would definitely like to take a moment and congratulate her for that huge accomplishment. The girl's 13 years old and doing it, man. You can't take anything away from a girl who has passion and desire and wants to accomplish an objective, and she's doing whatever it takes to get there.
I wonder what they're bringing her on for, though. That's the question. Like, are they bringing her on as a fan, or they're bringing her on as an aspect of WrestleMania weekend? Like, I wonder what they're doing.
I mean, I'm sure it's fan-wise. I would definitely say that. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see it. You guys all watch the bump, I hear. Maddog sends us videos all the time.
Today? Was she on today?
I don't know the date and time. Sorry, homies.
No, she was not on the today's episode. I think she'll be on next week's episode, the episode before the Road to WrestleMania. So that's
well, congratulations to her. That's an amazing accomplishment, and I think that's WWE smart to put her up there. And good job, Izzy Mania. Congratulations to Izzy Mania. We want to formally congratulate her on getting her second appearance on the bump.
Right.
Girl's 13 years old.
She's been on the bump before.
That's
bump.
Right. She has been on the bump before. I actually seen it. So
I want to ask some more questions. Thank you for answering that. And I'm going to go ahead and answer the question myself. Currently, the answer is yes. AEW is better than NXT. And the reason AEW is better than NXT, and the reason AEW is going to continue to be better than NXT, is because NXT is a farming ground for their wrestlers. When they get people like Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, those are stars, and you have to pull them up. Ricochet, even your boy Ricochet. All these guys were in NXT killing it. Shayna
actually,
Baszler.
Keith Lee is still MIA. I'll talk about that a little bit later.
Shayna Baszler. Okay. Shayna Baszler was. I'm talking, dude. Why don't you get when I'm talking? Why do you just stop in the middle? Okay. We're gonna teach you how to become a radio host one day. I swear. But when someone's talking, you don't talk in the middle of them. Oh God. All right. Will Drew win at WrestleMania? Vince, you go first.
Yes, I think they like what Drew did with the belt, and I put it this way: if Drew doesn't win at Mania, they will be having I like how they do the rematch after Raw. After on Raw. So if he doesn't win at Mania, they'll be fighting again the next night. But I do think that Drew will win the belt back.
Maddog?
Right. You can clearly tell from my shirt the way I feel about this match. But I'll say it anyway. Yes, Drew's going to win his third WWE Championship back from the almighty Bobby Lashley. And then Lashley will be put in a feud with possibly MVP. So that's going to be interesting.
What kind of music do we want to play for when we give it away?
Hey, man, is it still snowing up there?
No. God, no.
Is it still cold?
Somewhat.
Where do you live again?
New Jersey.
It is 57 degrees out there, so it's not that cold right now.
You know how hot it's here? 80 degrees.
It's definitely 80 degrees here. It's hot as balls. So Logan Paul is going to be on Monday Night Raw, and they're saying that Logan Paul will have a place at WrestleMania, potentially interfering in the Kevin Owens match with Sami Zayn. Logan Paul has 23 million subscribers on YouTube. Logan Paul is tentatively scheduled to box Floyd Mayweather in 2021.
Was it crazy?
And hey, bro, the money talks. And Logan Paul, whether we like it or not, is one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name on YouTube. Is this like Bad Bunny? Is this a big deal, or is this just another reach for attention? What do you guys think about this?
I just think it's it's just like Bad Bunny. It makes sense for the money and the revenue. But again, like I say it every single time, this just shows you that McMahon has no faith in his roster. If your roster was as good as it was, you wouldn't have to bring people in like Logan Paul or Bad Bunny, because you would bank on your roster. I mean, let's face it. How many WrestleManias have we been to where there was a celebrity guest? Like Floyd Mayweather took on the Big Show, WrestleMania 24.
Yeah.
They brought The Rock back at WrestleMania 28 to face John Cena. I mean,
damn, that was good.
Yeah, it was good, but here there obviously is a problem with banking on your roster, because let's just face it, they can bring anybody in and whoever they wanted to, and any day of the week, any Raw, any SmackDown, any show, they could bring them. But they choose to wait till WrestleMania. I mean, Bad Bunny came in at Royal Rumble, so they did a couple months lead up to WrestleMania. But I mean, yeah, it's smart for business, but I mean, I question his decision because
I just can't take Bad Bunny seriously. I just can't do it.
I mean, he's
right. Yeah, neither can I. I agree.
Later, Tito. Thanks for hanging out. If you win, I will personally message you and get your address. Although I think I know it, honestly. All right, let's keep going with these questions. This is fun. I'm going to say. I think it's actually a big deal that Logan Paul is joining. He, at this point, is one of the biggest names in the world because he is actually lined up to be fighting Mayweather, and his brother Jake Paul, who is a complete dork, is going to be fighting Ben Askren in the next month or so. So there's a lot going on in the whole world of boxing, and we can have another day and another talk about that. But for now, we're going to stick to professional wrestling. And my next question is this. Is the Hurt Business over? I did see today that MVP quoted saying it's not over and that he's looking for candidates, but they had a good thing. And I'm going to say it right here. Why break up a seemingly good faction when you have something that seems to be working? Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander are undoubtedly going to get pulled back from where they were because they've been on TV every week for the past 6 months now. I don't know, 4 months. I don't know how long it's been. But now that's going to be over, and they're going to have to go and be a tag team, and that's going to be really tough for them. So I don't know exactly why they decided to pull this plug, but do you think the Hurt Business is over as we know it? Go ahead, Maddog.
Right. Okay. So the Hurt Business is officially over, and it is a little bittersweet, but in all honesty, I would say thank God it happened in a way, because they're trying to make Bobby Lashley look really strong. And I get it. Bobby Lashley needs some work on the mic, but overall, Lashley is very strong going into this match with Drew at WrestleMania. Especially the fact that he got King Corbin now on his side. I'll get to that later, which still makes no sense to me whatsoever. But, I think this all is trying to make Lashley look strong. I think Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin were holding him back. MVP is the mouthpiece, but you heard Lashley cut the promo on Monday night. He can cut promos. It's the same thing with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. I mean, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns does not need Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman needs Roman Reigns. And he even said that on Talking Smack a couple months ago. So, it's just one of those things. Why break up a good faction? 2 words. Vince McMahon. It's like the end of the Shield. And you guys know I'm a big Shield guy. They're my favorites. They really are. Seth, Roman, and Dean. Or Moxley now, whatever. Who cares? The 3 of them were the workhorses. They were the guys, and they broke them up because Vince McMahon wanted to. So it was really sad, and it sucked. But this is the way it goes in WWE.
Vincent?
Oh, I don't think they're over. I think that they're over with the members they have in there, but I think they're looking for, like you said, new candidates. And I just can't get over how bad and old MVP looks. I mean, I felt like it was just a couple weeks ago we saw him in the ring wrestling, and now, I mean, unless this is a gimmick, but I'm telling you, he looks like he's he looks like an old Mr. Miyagi bent over. I mean,
the cane's not doing him any justice. That's for sure.
No, it's definitely not. Do I see Bobby Lashley recruiting new people for the Hurt Business? Absolutely. Do I want to see it? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know what this leads. And then the second question is it going to be all minorities, you know? Because then if that's the case, then there's only a few candidates that can actually join the Hurt Business. There's like Keith Lee and Naomi and a few others, but, you know, Kofi and Xavier. But really, they have to branch out of that if they want the Hurt Business to be. Because, I mean, let's be honest, it was kind of a all black group at some, you know, so at a certain point. And shades of Nation of Domination was definitely there. So
I miss the League of Nations.
So my question is, if the Hurt Business is not over, does it stay all African American, or do they branch out and get, you know, some other people?
Right, I'll take the reins on this. I think they need to branch out to the rest of the roster. You know, actually, a couple months ago, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was the lead up to Hell in the Cell, maybe Clash of Champions. I could be wrong. They tried to get Ricochet in there, and honestly, he would have been a really good fit, I think, for the Hurt Business. And I still think Ricochet could be a good fit for the Hurt Business going forward because they're not really utilizing it. We were talking about earlier in the night about Ricochet not really being utilized on the cards lately. Meanwhile, he's getting his matches. This is a perfect way for him to do that. So I'm quite excited. Hopefully he gets in there this time. Let them branch out.
And is Ricochet not African American? I thought he maybe was. I
didn't know he was. If he is,
I don't know. I don't know exactly what Ricochet his race is. But the person that stuck in my mind that was definitely not was Riddle. They actually talked to Riddle in the beginning of the Hurt Business and kind of proposed to him prior to him being like, "No, bro, I'm not really interested in it." So while we're talking about Riddle, let's talk about the Riddle botch line. You're gonna say, I know you read the articles, and you're gonna say that they stated that it was intentional. But I don't think it was. I think he botched his line, and I think he just said, you know what, I forgot my line and drove away. Now, let me ask you this. Is WWE so cerebral that they said, Riddle, I want you to botch your line intentionally and walk away, and we want to test the waters to see if the fans will react to that via internet, social media, Twitter, etc. Because if that's the case, that was a home run. Or he botched that shit because he had 5 or 6 segments to cut promos in. He forgot what he was saying, and they tried to spin the wheel on it, saying that it was not a botch. What do you think? Was it a botch? Was it or not? I don't want you, Maddog. I do not want you to give me your opinion from the article you read. I want you to give me your personal opinion. In fact, I don't want you to ever give me an article read opinion. I want you to always give me your opinion.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to take the reins on this one as well. I've been using it a lot, as you can see. I'm rooting for
the Roman Reigns. Jordan, Sebastian,
besides that, though, as for the Riddle thing, yeah, you know, personally, I feel like they did do this in a way. On purpose. I feel like, yes, Creative told him just go in there and screw it up, man. Just go have a good time with it. And he did, man, because his whole character is about being goofy and just having fun and just really just having a good time. You know, when you look at his stuff, like when you look at his promos or look at his matches, it's all about him having a good time. You know, even when I FaceTimed him a couple weeks ago with you guys, you know, it just looked like he's a cool dude who just likes to have a good time, man. Like, that's all it really is.
You're reminding me of a South Park. There's a South Park episode where they're skiing in like Aspen or something, and the guy keeps going, if you fall, you're not going to have a good time. Okay, guys?
Yeah. But seriously, though, I feel like he's
have a good time.
Man, you like South Park a lot, Nico. I noticed that.
I love South Park, dude. South Park's one of the funniest shows in the world.
I like Matt Riddle, though, and I like that he has this great match with Sheamus, and I think it can really be a banger. I do think it's going to get misled, though, and I think it's going to get mixed in with the rest of the main events and everything, but I still feel like it's going to be an excellent match for the U.S. Championship between him and Sheamus at Mania.
I got to tell you, I think they did it, and I think they're staying with the whole stoner storyline, and I think it fits well. If this is what happened, and it's for sure that he did it on purpose, it fits in with the whole him trying to be this surfer stoner guy that WWE's portraying.
I mean, if they did it on purpose, kudos to them. You know what I mean? That's some smooth, that's some Triple H cerebral shit right there. So if they did do that, then that's gonna be I'm gonna bow down to the king and say good job on that one.
You know, I gotta tell you guys. So last night I watched the new Icons episode with Beth Phoenix, and I real quick, I just gotta tell you, I don't want to crap on her because I do think she was good, but do I think that she deserves? Do I think she's an icon? Absolutely not. I don't think she's an icon whatsoever. She had a very short career run. She won the title one time, and do I think she's a Hall of Famer because her husband is Edge? Absolutely. Because I think if they weren't married, she would have never gotten that as quick as she did. But the episode is really good, and there is a lot of things that I didn't know about Beth Phoenix that I think stands out to this day. So if you guys want to watch a really good show before WWE officially goes to Peacock next week, check out Icons. It's a really good episode featuring Beth Phoenix.
It seems like they're really putting a lot of effort into these shows that they're doing. I've seen a lot of 24s and Icons really just kind of stepping out of their game because they do put on quality shows. They really do. All right, we're at 46 minutes. Let's do some news. Let's spin the wheel. Let's get out of here. It is already 11:15, and we need to also talk about maybe changing our times. I think we're doing the show a little too late, but that's just me. I know that at the end of the day, we're a podcast and our show goes live on Apple and all that, but I still want to have a live audience here and enjoying our show. So go ahead. Matt, what were you going to say, Vince?
No, I think you're right. I think 10 o'clock, on the dot when we do it is it's a good way to, do a 30, 45 minute show and then end it before 11.
I think 10:30 is just too late. And you know what? Actually, let's just go ahead and spin the wheel so we can not waste anyone's time. We've had them sitting here for 47 minutes listening to our horrible show. I'm just kidding. We really want to thank you all for being a part of it. We're going to try to do more giveaways. Maybe in the future, maybe not. I don't know. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. I know that's why you're all here anyways, right? No one even cares what we're actually talking about. Right. I did want to ask one more question for you guys, though, if I can find it. And that question is this. Does Vince McMahon still make every single call in the WWE?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
I think if he's not there, just like he wasn't there for the Royal Rumble, he's on the phone making the calls from wherever he is. Yes.
Yep. He's telling Triple H or Stephanie or Shane or whoever it is.
Every day. He's just making every single call. It's amazing, isn't it?
But here's the thing.
How old is he? He's like 76.
I think he's 75. Yeah, he's
75, 76. Yeah, wow.
But that's what I think WWE's lacking right now. I think WWE's lacking the credibility and the confidence of other people than just Vince McMahon. I mean, like I think by now Vince should know that Triple H knows how to run a company, knows how to run a brand, and should give him more opportunity than what he does now.
I actually really liked, real quick, I just want to say this. I really liked the one time Triple H ran a Raw. You could tell it was a different style, but I really enjoyed that Monday Night Raw. I think viewership went down a little bit, but viewership always goes up and down on Raw. So it's not too surprising, but I actually enjoyed Triple H running that Raw show.
Donald, we don't necessarily talk about the indies too much to answer your question, only because we have so much other crap to talk about. It's not that we don't watch it. We all kind of watch a little bit of indie wrestling here and there, but we're at NXT every week. We're watching AEW. We're watching Raw. We're watching SmackDown, Impact Wrestling. It's just in New Japan, Ring of Honor, MLW. It's just really hard to keep up with everything. And really, where is the cutoff line between independent wrestling and, MLW is pretty much anything below MLW would be independent, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're going to spin the wheel. Enough bullshit. Let's get it going. Got the Bollywood music playing for the Bollywood boys. You never know who's going to win it. It's going to be It's gonna be Ethan, or it's gonna be, look at Tito. Of course. All right, the wheel never lies. Congratulations to Mr. Tito, who isn't even live here right now.
Yay!
Yay! All right, give us the news, Mad Dog.
Right. Okay. So the first big headline we have coming into this week was a very confusing headline, and I'll try and break it down the best I can. And I want your reaction on this because I want to know what you guys think. So, as you guys know, Andrade is now without the WWE. They officially released him, and it's not even a promo. It's just this weird interview he did with Sports Illustrated over the last week that's made a lot of headlines, and I want to kind of clear things up because I don't even know what's going on with the story initially. He mentioned that WWE pulled Charlotte Flair not because she had COVID-19, but because she was apparently pregnant, and she is pregnant. Now, this is kind of strange because Charlotte's team said, yes, that's the case, but no, that's not the case. So I have no clue if Charlotte Flair is pregnant and if Andrade and Charlotte are hiding it, or if the WWE is just telling Charlotte, no, just don't come into work and you're pregnant all of a sudden, and just this whole thing. I don't really understand this.
Let me stop you for a second.
Yeah.
That's not the case. Her testosterone levels were high, which can sometimes indicate pregnancy. She was never pregnant. In fact, she had COVID recently.
Right, we know that, yeah.
Which is also potentially why her testosterone levels were high. So Andrade went on a Spanish-speaking podcast and said this, and it got translated from Spanish to English to Charlotte's pregnant. That's where this whole thing turned into a whole debacle. All he said was her levels are high. That's it. So I did want to, while you're talking about Andrade, I did want to bring up one thing.
Yeah.
The man said he was making $3 million a year as a wrestler for WWE, sitting in catering. First off, what kind of fucking idiot leaves $3 million a year when you're sitting in catering? Second off, I don't believe this at one fact that he was making that kind of money. I do not believe this statement. I do not believe what Andre said. He was not making $3 million a year. What do you think?
No, I think it's bullshit. I mean, let's put it this way. There's no way you're making more money than AJ Styles and The Miz. There's no way. You're not that good. That's a complete lie.
Right. He's lying for no reason whatsoever. I'm not even sure he makes $1 million a year, honestly.
Right. Now, wasn't he a United States champion at that point? I think anybody with the title, they get more money. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I thought they usually get more money. I know Becky Lynch got a hell of a lot of money when she was the Raw Women's Champion. She still probably is getting money for just sitting home on the couch, hopefully watching us. But seriously though, when it comes to Andrade, I do agree with you guys, but remember, he was a champion at one point in time. But I think he was getting so much probably due to Charlotte Flair. I think if he really was getting that much, it was definitely because of her. I think that's the only reason why Andrade was even in the WWE roster, was because who his fiance is.
I think he's full of shit
at the time.
I think he's full of shit, and I also think this statement, Donald, I don't think Moxley makes $6 million a year. Not with AEW. I just can't imagine them paying one individual that much money. No. They're going to go out of, if they are paying him $6 million a year, this is WCW all over again, and AEW is fucked. That's all I'm going to say about that, right?
I agree with you. I agree with you on that, because look how much they're paying Sting. They're paying Big Show now. They're paying Christian Cage. They're still paying Jericho. I'm sure Jericho's getting a shit ton of money, and I'm sure MJF is getting a lot of money too. So there's a lot of guys getting a lot of money in that company. And then don't forget Dr. Britt Baker. I'm sure, even though she has her own practice down there by you guys, I'm sure she's getting a decent chunk as well.
Dr. Britt Baker.
Cut a great promo tonight, by the way.
I'm tired, guys. I got my ass kicked at NXT, and I'm just pooped. Tell me where you can find you clowns so we can get the hell out of here. Mad Dog, where can they find you?
Right, it's Matt_Maddog on Twitter and Instagram. Go follow me there, guys.
Vincent?
You can always find me on the Vince LaSpada Show every Saturday from 2 to 3 on Florida Man Radio, 660 AM, 105.5 FM right here in Orlando, Florida. And if you don't live in Florida, you can always go to FloridaManRadio.com and download the Florida Man Radio app on your Android or iPhones in the store and listen to us online. Me, Niko, and Mike Knox. Hold it down. Also, at LaSpada Show and at Vincent LaSpada on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
There you go. And I'm Niko Exxtra. You can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. And as soon as my YouTube gets unbanned, I cannot wait to go live on YouTube. I got
You're still banned?
You're still banned until the middle of April. It's so ridiculous.
Wow.
AEW. I'm telling you right now, me and AEW have beef for life from this shit because I was on a roll on my YouTube. So just for you nerds, just to tell you guys, especially you, Vince, YouTube has released their thing called Shorts, which is their TikTok, their Reels, their version of it. So you can now take your TikTok videos, upload them onto YouTube, and they will appear like they are in TikTok. There's a whole new formula there. Your videos are getting much more views than you were getting before. I just posted one of Nagano knocking out Miocheck and got over 1,000 views on it. So you guys need to stick with the program. Take all your TikToks, move them over there. Anything else in that? What do we got to say? Thank you so much. We'll be here next week at 10 p.m. hopefully, unless we're at NXT Stand and Deliver, which I hope we will both be at, Vincent.
Yes, tomorrow, 12 o'clock, the email goes out. I'm excited. I'm going to sit in my truck and wait for it so I know I get it.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Niko Exxtra. Join me with Maddog, and we are going to see you next week. I got the look. That drive the girls wild. I got the moves.